What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be showing you how to fix a Samsung Galaxy S21. This one has a broken screen and a broken LCD. It's kind of a typical thing with these. We got our new Samsung part. We're going to break this down and get it installed. First, what we're going to want to do is put heat on the back and then work our way around so we don't break this back glass. So after we heat up the back glass, what we're going to want to do is try to come in here with these little plastic pry tools. Sometimes you can get away with getting just these in there. Sometimes you need maybe something a little bit stiffer, like a playing card. I use sometimes even a piece of metal, and people don't like to use it, but if you're careful with it and only let it go in, if you're using like that, if you only let it go in the tiniest little bit, you'll be fine. Because once you see, when I open this, you'll see if you went any further, you would have damaged some stuff. So this one, I already kind of started breaking it free, so it should kind of come apart. It's definitely not going to come apart this easy, so don't be fooled. Yeah, this one's pretty free. Okay. So here, as you can see, if you went in any further, you're going to end up grabbing these connectors and these cables in here, and you're going to need to replace stuff. This is the wireless charging. This is, I'm not even 100% sure, it's something to make the phone work. So all you know is if these two are messed up, the phone's not going to work anyway. But once you get the back off, put it off to the side. All right, so what we're going to want to do is get our Phillips screwdriver, start pulling out these Phillips screws. On this phone, you want to make sure without a doubt that you do not touch any three of these cameras. If you put your finger on them, chances are you're going to have to buy a new camera module because you cannot clean them. I repeat, you cannot clean them. Once the oil from your skin gets on there, it's game over. And if yours is already messed up and cloudy, then you may as well just fix it now. I got a bunch of these top screws loose. What I'm going to do is come in here, because this bottom is kind of glued in, this wireless pad. Pull that up without trying to damage it. For some reason they have it go through the speaker. Weird. All right. And then as we lift this up, you can see that this middle one is actually a connection too. And then here's your battery connection. So we should probably get that one first. Get this out of the way. If it has any damage at all, buy another one because the phone won't work. This is your 5G antenna. This is another 5G antenna. This is for your power button. Yada, yada, yada. All right, so let's pop these off. We need to get everything disconnected. These are really fragile, by the way. Pop it up. They're glued in. Set it off to the side. I usually like to keep those screws with it. I would say all the screws on this phone more or less are the exact same size as the next one. There'll be only like maybe one or two instances where you got a different size. So see, there's even another connector. This one I'll have to use the plastic right there. And now this piece is starting to come free. And we can pop it up out of the way. Boom. So we'll come back here. We'll start taking these bottom ones out. if you look, sometimes there's like a little pry slot. It has one right here. You gotta be careful. If you repaired a phone before, these new phones like this are so different than any old phone. It's unbelievable. Hold on. So what we're gonna wanna do is continue to take off these connectors, cables, put them off to the side, because we don't wanna damage anything. You know what? Boom, boom. Okay, now these front camera, it's really a pain in the ass because the camera is actually glued in. So we're gonna just do, for now, unplug it and pull it off. Since we have everything else unplugged and freed, we'll try to pull up this motherboard. All right, so it kind of busted my ass coming out, but it finally came out. Put it off to the side. You see here, we have the charge port, which we still got some screws in there. Put them off to the side. We're gonna pull out the SIM tray. Probably should have did that first. Oh, actually, I already did. Okay, I did it before I even worked on the phone. And then we got to pop up this charging board and wiggle it at the same time because the port is like stuck in the phone. Boom. Put that off to the side. So we got it pretty well stripped down. We got vibrate, another antenna, camera, battery. That has to come out. So I have a dental tool for stuff like this. What I like to do is come in and pick out some of this plastic or glue, whatever the hell they used on it. Sometimes you'll buy a part and it may come with a camera, but just beware that the camera is serialized to your motherboard, so that camera and part isn't going to work. Your front camera won't work at all if you don't transfer it. So if you break it, you have to get the right camera, I believe. I don't know, I never broke one. So you have to get the right camera, and then you have to do a factory reset, and then I think start the phone with the new camera in it or something like that, and then you can move your stuff back onto it. I think that's how it works. Again, I don't know. It's kind of a weird scenario, so. But man, they really got this one in there. Typically, it's only one side. Glue removal is needed, but this one seems to really be stuck in there. There it goes. Wow, they really glued this one in there this time. All right, so put that off to the side with the other cameras that you're not touching. And we still got this and this antenna. We got this. Now we got the battery and probably the hardest part to remove from the phone left. Typically these are the battery, and then this antenna is probably the hardest thing to remove without it having an issue. Now it's a tri screw, and this is just, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I was only 4 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on some of the other ones there's a lot more, but so this antenna, if you don't transfer it, if your new part has one and it's not compatible, you won't have cell phone service at all. So you kind of have to transfer the one that is in here over to the new one for it all to work. A lot of the parts now are serialized, so they don't work with, you can't just change them out like you used to. So put that antenna off to one side. Everything's stripped out of there. I'm gonna put this on the heat so that we can pull out that battery after. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work in reverse. We're gonna put the antenna back right in there. This one, actually, I didn't check, but it came with the vibrate thing, so I didn't need to take that out, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You see how tight that fits in there. Through the years, they've, doing this for so long, you can actually see the quality increase on some of these devices. Sometimes you see it decrease, but like you can see how much tighter everything fits, and just a better fitment nowadays. So after we get those in there, take a peek at it. We want to take this shield off. Looks like we're doing pretty good. I'm gonna slide this board in there now before we get our flex cables all up in the way. There, that makes it easier. I'm gonna put the screw in so it doesn't fall out. All right. I might actually even put this front camera in because I don't want any dust to get in there. Perfect. Clip those two down. All right, for now, that's where we're gonna stop with those. We don't need that. For the battery, I like to put some heat on the front screen here. Not too much, you know, because you need to be able to get this, and then come in and you can pry it out. So we're sliding our battery in. Not gonna hook it up, but we can hook up that little power button. We can start putting our connectors back. Our antenna. Since everything's all good here, we're gonna plug this back in. There's one little clip right there that's not going. Got our screws back. Oh, I don't feel like that might not be right. Boom, screws are all in. Connect our power now. And you have to put this wireless piece on if you're gonna test it. The phone has to be like, everything has to be on it and working. Otherwise it won't work. So what's this one on here? Not gluing it, I'm just putting it on there so I don't touch the cameras. All right, it looks like we have a dead battery, so I'm gonna let it sit. You know, came in all busted up, I couldn't see it. So I'm gonna let it sit and get a charge and I'll be back. All right, so we're up to 6% now. We should be able to fire it up. So what I want to do is, on these phones, the most important thing to test for is service once you repair them. So I put the SIM in there. It's a new voicemail. LTE. And check those cameras. Battery too low to use flash. That's fine. Was that an iPhone? All right. I'd have to say right now, this is working. I'm going to test a couple more things, but I'm going to really put it back together. So let's put it back together. Since we just stuck the back on, the adhesive got messed up, so we're gonna have to reuse it, or put new on there. Reuse it. Might have to put you on pause here because it looks like I'm gonna have to go up front and help. Maybe not. Okay, so I'm gonna pull off the adhesive. Hopefully I can get it done. So I'll use the cell phone tape up here. It's not gonna be waterproof because I can't find the gasket, and the gasket was too messed up. So I'm gonna have to tell them that we're gonna have to All right, so for whatever reason, I think the phone rang and I ended up missing some of the recording. So I don't actually have the recording of me putting the back on. I just put a new gasket on it and just stuck the back on. I mean, there's not really much to that. The phone seems to be working great. Typically, I never would say, hey, go stick this in the water after it's been cracked. So if you're the type of person that needs to be able to stick it in a lake or whatever it may be, you probably should just fix it and then trade it in and go get another one that you can stick in a lake. So if this video helped you, please like and subscribe, and until next time, adios.